Hello. It's episode... Sorry, can you tell I've had a cold? Episode 204 of the Synth Network live show. And I'm a little bit croaky, and I should probably get croakier as the 2 hours progress. So I apologise for my slightly nasally and raspy voice. I'm going to start advertising chocolate soon or something similar. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. And if you're watching us live, thank you for choosing us over other live streams that might be happening right at this very moment in time. Nick Bat. No, we don't mind. It's the Sonic State EMOM. So yeah, if you want, you can put it on in the background, just have a little like music, and that's fine. We don't mind. And then everybody's a winner. But good luck to anybody that is at the Sonic State EMOM. Not that I think that you'd be watching us while you're there, watching all that cool stuff going on. It's very special. Good luck to Simon Forsyth, who is doing his first ever solo live performance there. Simon's a good friend and often pops in the show. But he's going to be there tonight doing his thing. So very cool. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. Right, do you know, I was planning this show and I thought, God, this is going to be difficult this week because there's not a lot of news. And then all of a sudden, as if by magic, news started happening. And so we do have lots of things to talk about this week. Before we do, though, it might be worth just mentioning a few things. So first of all, give us a like, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Give us a comment in the chat or down below if you're watching on catch up. And if you haven't already, do subscribe to us. That would be fantastic. Ring the bell for some notifications and share us around like a cheap rum and coke. That's the first thing that came into my head. If you like what we do, you can support us by clicking all of those things that I've just asked you to click. And if you'd like to support us financially, you're not obliged to do so at all, but it would be fantastic if you did because it helps keep us on the air. And we have lots of different ways of doing that. The first way of doing that is to subscribe to our Patreon channel, which is on Patreon at patreon.com/ProSynth Network. So you can sign up there and contribute a monthly amount. I think we've set the minimum at $2 a month. If you want to do less, you can. If you want to do more, you can. It's entirely up to you. And we will be making sure that across the course of the year, we'll be adding some Patreon exclusive bits and bobs, whether it's content, videos without adverts, whether it's patches and samples, some of Kent's pubic hair in a jar, something like that.
Some whistling,
yeah, stuff like that. We'll have that there. And we don't make any promises, but it helps keep the channel on air, and that's the most important thing, I suppose. So you can do that, or of course, if you're watching live on YouTube, you can use Super Chat or Super Stickers. If you're watching catch up on YouTube, you can use the thanks button. You can join us as a YouTube channel member as well. That's an option that we have. We just thought we'd make as many sort of easy options to suit whatever way of donating you want to do. If you want to donate, you don't have to donate. It's not obligatory. But thank you to everyone that has already signed up to Patreon. We've got a very healthy number of people on there. And we've also got some good YouTube members as well. So thank you ever so much. You can find us across all the social networks if you need to. They're all listed. They're going underneath my chin, which of course is stubble-ridden because it's Friday and I forgot to shave before coming on the show. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, and X. We are across all of those. At ProSynth Network is the handle. If you want to ask a question during the show, then just stick a big capital Q in front of it. That would be great, and that way we'll notice it and then ignore it. No, we'll put it into the bucket and then ignore it once it's in the bucket. But yeah, if you want to ask anything just to get our attention, it helps. If you do that, that would be fantastic. John Simpson, thank you ever so much for your £5 donation. On your marks, get set, go. And of course, John is a member, as you can tell, because he's got that special thing next to his name. And so is Peter. Peter James Stephen is also a member, and he's donated another £5. So thank you very much indeed. You guys rock, and we fully appreciate that. That is fantastic. Hello to everyone that's in the chat. I see your names. I'm not going to go through them because there's so many of you. But thank you for joining in and being part of the show, because we try and get everyone in here involved in some way. So if you make some funny comment, we'll throw it up on the screen. And you might have your 15 seconds of fame. Maybe not minutes, but you'll get something. Anyway, Andy and Grace apparently are at the Sonic State EMOM. That's going to be pretty cool. We've got some stuff to talk about Andy and Grace, and they won't be here to appreciate it. But anyway, I'm sure they'll watch on catch up, or maybe they've snuck into the corner of the bar and just secretly watching us. Hello, Andy and Grace. Before we crack on with the cornucopia of news that we have for you this week. Let's introduce some of those chuckles in the background. I'm going to test my button. Does my button work? It does.
Oh,
it's Andrew Longhurst.
cornucopia.
With half of the hair he had last week.
Look at the hair. See?
Yeah.
Look.
There you go.
There's less of it. There's less of it. Actually, I thought you sounded so good, Robbie. I thought I'd join you, mate.
Oh dear, yeah.
Right.
It's 20 years ago, this has been quite sexy, but you know,
It would. We could
this
do
voice and this body just don't. Yeah.
Pro Synth Network. All right. Yeah.
The Pro Synth Network.
Pro Synth and Kent. There we go. That's
In
all
a
of
world.
that. In a world. One man, one woman.
Martin's just said, it's Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald.
Hey. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Very good.
Jolly
No, I'm
good.
good. Good.
Good.
I think like you, and I think probably like Ken, I'm really grateful that we're at the end of the week.
Yes, very much.
It's been one of those weeks, hasn't it? So
I got asked earlier if I wanted to go out for dinner on or lunch on Sunday. I'm like, not really.
Really?
To turn down a meal. Oh.
Do you mean that?
At the moment, no. I just want to curl up on the sofa.
Well, I've got another show tomorrow night, first time for a long.
You have.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later as well.
We'll talk about that later. We've got nothing else to talk about.
Well,
as
no, we thought we didn't, but
Yeah.
I've got tabs galore open. Tabs galore.
And I was going to ask,
Go.
I heard that Kent Spong had mysteriously evaporated and turned into a polymoog case or something like that. What it was being
I assumed that he was up to his leathery bits in a memory moog with a Rev 2 strapped to his backside to stop him from falling in.
Oh, right. Is he?
Apparently not.
No.
Jesus. No.
Just fucking
No, it's just Ken.
lazy.
It's not Jesus.
Just lazy. Essentially. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good
Yes. Yes. Hello.
evening, you muppet.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Perpendicular and
Jolly good.
Suitably manscaped, actually. The
Yeah, 'cause
jars
that's-
over there.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Every little helps.
Honestly, the Patreon numbers shot up after I said that.
I'm not surprised. Mate, I'm not surprised.
And I noticed young Hans is behind you again, back where he should be.
Yeah, he is.
He wasn't there. It wasn't there about an hour and a half ago.
No, he wasn't, but I kind of fell over him. And I thought, I've got to put him back in the room because I can't keep... Plus,
Bloody
he's scared to
Oscar-winning composers.
The thing is, I get up in the morning, bleary-eyed, I stagger out of the bedroom to go to the bog, and because he's standing in the doorway of the office, and as I come out onto the landing, he's there, judging me, and it's, oh, what, sort of thing, and then he's watching me poo, and I'm not having that anymore. I'm sorry. I can't have Oscar-winning composers staring at me while I toilet. I'm sorry. It's just enough.
You're
You
still
should have
waiting
gone
for
for the
David.
B flat.
I mean, it's bad enough when I used to have, sort of like members from Jethro Tull.
I'm going to say members for a minute.
Yeah, staring at me. I mean, it was dreadful.
Modelled, life size.
No,
Dear, oh
members
dear.
of Jethro Tull.
Not just
Yeah,
members.
the members of Jethro Tull. The members of Jethro
Jethro
Tull.
Tull's
Yeah.
members, yeah.
As I said before, members from the rock band Jethro Tull, and not the 17th century agorist and inventor of the sea drill.
Thank you so much. Do your Japanese laugh, please.
Ha ha ha. There you go.
Okay, well, that's good.
Anyway,
That's
good to see you, sir, as always. There we go. Three's
The
up. We're
energy's
all
through
here.
the roof tonight, isn't it?
Gang's all here. Yeah, I should fall asleep. Oh, I haven't had much.
Well, at least we got lots and lots of news.
It's kind of it's little bits of news. There's
Yeah,
like really.
it's like confetti. It's like 100,000.
Yes.
A sprinkling, a soupçon
Yes.
of newslets.
Yes, it's a sprinkling. It's a shower.
Sprinkling.
It's a golden shower of news.
Oh dear, no. No.
No, I went. Okay,
No.
because I've had marked this as not safe for kids. We kind of okay, but you don't want to tempt fate. Like last week when we played a promo video and got stung again for copyright, but it's okay. I disputed it, and 2 days later they said, "Oh, sorry," and we're back again. So,
And you're back in the room.
I don't know how the pub gets away with it.
well, it's
Nobody's watching. That's why.
There's that. No, there's
Four members, four
Yeah.
people watching.
but it's all to do with monetization, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
anyway,
I nearly
let's
said a
crack
pub word then.
Let's crack. Well, before we do crack on with the news, we have a new member. Talking of members,
I beg your pardon.
Estardos.
Estados.
I hope I've said that right. Estardos. Anyway, thank you for becoming a YouTube member, and you too can become a YouTube member. I think you just click a button somewhere. Honestly, I don't know. It's there somewhere. If you don't know, ask Estardos. He knows, or she knows. I'm assuming it's he. I don't know. I don't have my
Long live the
language
patriarchy.
Genderizations. Anyway, thank you for becoming a trusted, prized member of our channel.
It's not often we hear prized followed by member of our channel.
Prized. Talking of prized members, Dina Perlman's in the house.
Oh,
She's
Hey.
lurking in the background, and it's good
Lurk
to see
away.
you too. And we're hoping that we're going to see you in person soon.
and I got some lovely goodies waiting to download from you. Thank you very much, Dina.
Dina, excuse me. What are Kent and I like chopped liver or something? Did we not get links to good stuff?
Hey,
No, but it looks like chopped liver.
did
Yeah,
you
probably.
did you contribute to the fund for the 2,500?
I can't remember.
Well, there you go. You see, if you're a tightwad, you don't.
I bought. I did
stole
buy my Moog
someone's
Sauce
purse
ticket, and I
deliberately.
didn't win my Moog Sauce. That went to Justin S. from Chicago, Illinois, apparently, announced about an hour ago.
Oh,
And I'm not bitter at all, Justin.
handy on the shipping.
Yeah,
Is a
very
Moog?
handy, yeah.
Is a Moog sauce like a
Moog
like
sauce.
Worcester sauce? Moog? No, it's Moog.
No, it's Moog.
It's Moog.
It's Moog.
It's always been Moog over here.
Shut up.
But anyway,
Who asked you?
is the sauce? Is it like Worcester sauce, or is it?
It's
Is it more
it's
like
a
ketchup?
Prodigy with a CPU on the front of it.
There you go.
So it doesn't come in a bottle.
No.
Matt, what are you doing to your Juno? I thought we were talking about. We'll talk about Junos, Alpha Junos specifically, and a little bit later on the show we have a piece of news about some Alpha Juno stuff. By the way, I bought that Talfa today. It's very good. It's
Oh, is
very
it?
good. Yes, it's very good. It's very good.
It's a Yorkshire plug-in, isn't it? Alpha.
But Matt said he was going to put the news that we're going to talk about. He was going to share that with the Alpha Juno support group. And after Matt's experience, I said, "Is that technical support or emotional support?"
Yeah.
And now he's messing around with it again. Honestly, leave it alone. Put it down. Step away from the Alpha Juno.
It will never heal if you keep picking it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of our members has openly admitted to being unfaithful to us tonight.
Kill the heretic.
Burn him! Die! What else floats? Bostic 247.
Where's the frog when you need him?
Oh, no. Yeah, the frog of...
Yeah, the
hang on.
Uh-oh.
No, it's the frog of pub word.
The frog of purple. Oh, we got the penguin of death.
Oh no.
Bostish.
I don't think you should go straight to the penguin of death. You always hold the penguin of death in reserve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You go via the frog of fucking first.
Yeah.
Penguin of death.
Now
What's-
I avoided
what's the
saying
giraffe?
it.
Is it the giraffe of indifference? Yeah. Before we will, viewers, we will get to the news. But behind your microphone arm, Kent, lurks bagpuss, big fat hairy cat puss
Where?
on the top of your speaker.
Oh yeah.
They've just reissued those. There's some I think it's the 50th anniversary of Bagpuss, which kind of makes sense because I remember that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And Stife, the soft toy makers have just released one, and it's about 300 notes.
Mm-hmm.
So hang on to that.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I don't
know if it's a Stife one that you've got, but blimey,
No, it's a Stife one.
300 notes for a Bagpuss.
What do you reckon this is worth?
Yeah, go on then. Yogi Bear. Is that Yogi Bear?
This is Yogi Bear.
This a picnic basket.
Can I suggest? I reckon it's not cheaper than the average bear.
This is 61 years old.
Happy birthday to it.
Was it bought for you when you were born?
It was bought to me the day I was born.
There you go. And he doesn't look a day over 70.
Does it smell-
I
Nor does
do.
Yogi.
I do. I'm just become aware of how many cuddly toys I have in my studio.
Yeah, it's very worrying, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yogi,
Yeah.
Bagpuss, Hands.
Frog of Pubword.
Yeah.
Where's David Arnold, by the way, and or James Bond? Where are they?
Yeah.
He was gonna. You need to chase him about that.
Well, last time I spoke to him, he was at Air Studios, so
I saw a picture of him today. He posted a picture of him with some daffodils because it's St. David's Day.
yeah.
Fidels.
Happy St. David's Day to all our Welsh viewers.
They're not getting Yogi at the EMOM though, are they? Huh?
They're not. They don't get this bants either.
No.
They don't get this bants.
No bands.
Talking of which, let's crack on, shall we? And let's do something interesting. This was released yesterday. It's completely free of charge. You ought to get it because it's rather good. Jacob Collier is, as I think I said online earlier this week, he's very Marmite.
He is.
And for those that don't live in countries where Marmite is a product that is bought and sold and traded, Marmite is a yeast-based spread, and you either love it or you hate it. It's really that simple. There's no in-betweens. I've never, ever met anyone that said, well,
Anchovies
some
is
days.
the same thing. Anchovies
Exactly,
are the same.
yeah. So he's very
Marmite.
anchovies.
Used in elk traps.
Indeed.
Yeah.
However, there is no denying that he's an incredibly talented young man, and he has made a bit of a name for himself. And now we have this from him, which is the Jacob Collier Audience Choir. So apparently, at Jacob's series of concerts last year, he does this thing, and I've seen the videos, and I'm sure you all have as well, where he conducts his audience and gets them to sing various parts of the audience, sing various parts of a chord, and then brings them up using his hands, and it's it's a very simple but very powerful and enjoyable thing to watch. And they've taken that and made it into a free instrument which works in Contact and Contact Player, so you don't need to own Contact. You can just use the free Contact Player. So there really is absolutely no charge for this whatsoever. They've recorded the choir's voices from, I think it's around 20 odd concerts around the globe. And when you're playing the instrument, it kind of randomly picks, or certainly it picks from different voices from different cities. So you are playing with voices from around the world. It's rather cool. And they've recorded different vowels, so you have oohs and e's and r's and ms. You can automate the motion between moving those. It's got polyphonic aftertouch support if you have a Poly AT keyboard. You can do lots of very cool things in there, and there's some percussion. When I say percussion sounds, human percussion sounds. And it's just a very cool little thing, and it's free. And I put this up on the Facebook group, and within about an hour, our friend Tim from Republica said, "This is brilliant. I've already used it on the track." So it's clearly something you can play with very nicely. Of course, it works very nicely with the control keyboards directly there on the interface, as you can see on the display. So yeah, it's free. When you download it, you can either use Contact Player or full on Contact. It's about 190 megabytes, so it's not a big thing at all. And there really is no reason for you not to go and get it. While I load that up, so I can give people a bit of a demonstration, has anybody got anything they want to say about this? I know you're a fan, aren't you, Andrew?
I'm a fan of. I'm definitely a fan of Jacob Collier's genius. I'm not always as persuaded by some of his tracks, which seem overly elaborate and flowery and whatever. However, like you and like pretty much everyone here, I've also seen the thing he does with audiences where he turns them into a choir. He turns them into an instrument, which is quite extraordinary. And I have had a good look at this plugin. It is good. I mean, it's very good. You can do stuff with motion, switching between different vowels. You can put aftertouch into your poly aftertouch, so you can affect all sorts of different parameters. You can filter it, add, attack, release, all sorts of other things. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free, and it's an amazing sounding choir.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the audience. I mean, these aren't...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there probably are a few trained professionals in there, but this is just the audience. And as you can see on the screen here, the keyboard's divided up into sort of three main zones. The blue zone is... It's just chromatically assigned.
We're not hearing anything.
You're not hearing that. Of course you're not, because Idiot Face here didn't route the audio. Let me just do that.
Jesse.
Aren't I? What a numpty.
What a Jesse.
So if I do this... Now you hear it, don't you? Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's a bit difficult to tell, but you see all the cities that are listed. So you've got Adelaide through to Zurich. Every time you hit a key, you're not always getting the same cities. So you've got that chromatically. Then you've got the yellow notes. Or you can do... So you've got lots of little fancy things like that. And then up here, you kind of got these pre-arranged chords. And with use of the modulation wheel and an expression pedal and your polyphonic aftertouch. You can mess around with them, and it's fun. The best bit is this, though. So on the left hand side you can see this little grid, and you've got ums and oohs and e's and ahs, and you can either hold a chord and then move that yourself. I should actually do it on the actual thing and not the image. There you go. So you can choose which one you want, or you've got a list of automated patterns here. So if I wanted to go to ooh, for example, I could then press the, let's do forwards and backwards, and then press play. And then as soon as I go... So you get the idea.
And you can record your own automations.
And you
as well.
record your own automations.
Yeah.
And you can adjust the speed of the automations as well. You can have it half speed, normal speed, twice the speed. It's fun. And then, of course, you can then mess around with the chords. So you can actually have a chord generator here, and you can say, right, well, I want the harmonic minor in E flat. And it will give us that across the keyboard. It's fun. You've got some effects in there. You've got some reverb that you can add in.
Is it me, or does ooh sound like someone doing a wet fart?
Let's change it. Let's do, I don't know, that one.
Not just the phonetically. I know what I mean.
And you can mess around with the stereo spread, and there's delay, and there's timbre shifting in there as well, and messing around. It's free. It's free, as we always say with these things. It's free. So,
and it's only 139 meg.
About 190, but yeah, you were close.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when you actually initially download it.
Oh, the actual download, yeah, compressed download.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm not completely stupid. Apparently.
Whether you like the guy or not, this is a really cool thing that he's done in association with Native Instruments. And he's used this apparently on the new album. I'm assuming it's pronounced Jess or Jesse or something. That's coming out soon, I think. So this is all kind of tying in. It's a bit of promotion. But it's what a fun piece of promotion.
Ken, when you said you're not entirely stupid, how's that Juno getting on?
Oh, I just remembered I'm not on the pub. I nearly called you something very sexual there, I tell you.
I thought so.
Okay, if I had my braces on, it'd be in trouble.
I did worse, but we'll come to that. No, this is good, isn't it?
Yeah, Ken, your thoughts?
My thoughts? Few. Yeah, it's quick to download, straight into Contact Suite as it's free. It's not exactly. I'm not going to. Can I say the word restrictive? It's
limited.
It's limited. Thank you. It's not restrictive. It's limited in what you can and cannot do with it, which is fine. I mean, if you want to fancy having another crack at doing another Star Wars theme or something like that, it's going to be right up your street. If you want to go the proper route, you've got Dominus, which will set you back 500 quid and about 30 gig. So this is ideal for getting some quick down and dirty vocals.
Yeah, what's really interesting about this is the textures. Because it's a real audience who aren't professionals, then you end up with it. I mean, it's huge. If you were to do this professionally, you'd end up with it will be a different sound. It'd be very good, but a different sound. Because it's not, the textures change. So it does have a particular sound. I've got some thoughts about how to use it as well, by the way. So it's not massively flexible, but that's before you start putting it through all the other stuff that we have access to, all the other filters and sequencing and gating and God knows what else. But it's a good thing. I love it.
I mean, he's taken all these from different shows that he's been doing up and down the country and that.
Yeah.
Apart from Romford, they left that one out because apparently they're not allowed
and Huddersfield.
Huddersfield, not allowed to use farm animals apparently in plugins.
I don't imagine that Romford is kind of Jacob's demographic.
The Cardiff one,
the good
was
people of Romford. I love it.
It was sort of like it was singing, but it was interspersed with broken bottles smashing and
And with this, they were taking just the notes from each concert, which were in unison, where they were all singing the same key. So they only had a limited amount they could do with this because they didn't do this for the whole concert. This was kind of the final thing, I think, for each thing. So they've selected what they could, and I think they've done a really good job with it. And I think the interface, all of it, it's a good thing.
It's very good, and you've got you can mess around with this timbre thing using filters, built-in filters, and there's choice of reverbs. It's not just a reverb, it's not just a delay. There's stuff that you can mess around with here, and you can mess around with the attack and the release as well. It's
the timbre also has a formant setting on it as well, which is interesting if you play with that.
And then you can mess around. There are some interesting different things. You can mess around with the tuning. And aftertouch and all that kind of stuff in there as well. So it's very good, and it's free. It's free. God damn it!
Yeah,
you can download that from Native Instruments directly. Just go to their website and Millwall Choir, Millwall. We are the Millwall. Just go to the Native Instruments website and you'll find a link for it there, and it's available now. And I don't think there's a time limitation. I think it's kind of a permanent thing that's going on there. And there are videos from Jacob showing how he uses it, so you can get some ideas if you want to. And it's all downloadable and authorized via the wonderful, the brilliant, the fantastic, super smooth, and never messes up once native access application.
Funnily enough, it did it perfectly.
Yes, I know. I think they've
Dale.
actually got it now. I think they had so much hassle with it a little while ago. They've actually nailed it, which is good. So yeah, there you
Which
go.
is nice.
Jacob
is
Collier,
nice.
Audience Choir from Native Instruments. Go and fill your boots. It costs you nought. Let's see. What should we do next? Well, let's keep on the theme of samples and sampling. And let's talk about this. So this is new from Monkey C Audio. I think this is their second product. It's called Rando, which I don't think they're Australian, but it sounds like an Australian name, doesn't it? It's Rando,
mate, Rando.
I'm just off the pub to see Rando. Sorry, Rands, if you're watching. You're probably not watching now, but you'll be watching tomorrow morning. I know you often bring us up first thing in the morning, like most people do. So yeah, Rando. This was thrown at me across the editorial desk this week, and I thought, oh, what the bloody hell's this? But the more I looked into it, the more I thought, do you know what? Actually, this is a rather cool idea. What this essentially does is you point it at your sample library, wherever that might be, and it will scan through that for all of your audio samples, loops, one-shots, all that kind of stuff. And you can then say, like, I want drums, or I want this, or I want that. And it will then take a whole bunch of those samples at random and just throw them across the keyboard, so to speak. And then you can just go through. When you found one you like, you can say, yeah, I'll have that, and start doing something with it. And you can, mess around with it, and you can manipulate it, and then start coming up with an idea. It's got effects in there as well. Let me just throw this up here. So yeah, it's a really cool way of kind of getting a starting point from a. I mean, we're not alone. I mean, Kent is the king of sample libraries. 18 terabytes at the
14.
moment. 14
terabytes. Well, last time I looked.
You got to go through there and think, am I going to find inspiration? Let this find it for you. Just do it at random, and you find this one thing, and then you start making. And if it just finds one note of your violin, it won't require you to load up that entire violin. It'll take that one note and make an entire instrument from it. So it'll do all the stretching and the pitch shifting and everything for you. How good it is at alias, anti-aliasing and all that kind of stuff, I don't know, but
that's the point. Sometimes
the point.
finding these squiffled samples is what makes something new and different, right?
Exactly. So you set your search, you do, it just goes off, and you say, I want I want drum samples. I want drum loops, and the other thing it does with drum loops is it will, time stretch them and then fit and everything, and it's all just there, and just literally does it for you, and then you can just start going through your sounds in a much more productive way, shall I say, finding things that you would spend hours looking for, but it's just there. It just brings stuff to you and says, here you go, here's a selection of random things. There must be something there you like, and you find one thing, you're great, then you go off and search for another one, and then you start building these different things up. And I just thought this was a really cool idea, especially for those of us who have extensive sample libraries on hard drives.
Thing is, I mean, I know you want Kent to jump in here, but
I want both of you to jump in.
I've got a massive sample library of my own, which is nothing. It's not commercial, and I've also got a massive sound effects library. I've got libraries of all sorts of noises that I've
everything.
Yeah, well as I know because I've got a tiny knob, but I've got this. What did that come out? I wasn't thinking.
Well, if we did, we didn't notice it.
Okay,
because it's so tiny.
Hang on.
Slam the brakes on. All right, go.
Right, there we go. So the thing is, when you're searching for sounds for a particular track, you tend to say, I want a pad sound, so you search for pads, right? Or I want a bass, or I want a synth, or I want a tom or something, and you search for that and that exclusively, and so you miss out on all this other stuff which could be there as well. What this does is it looks at everything you've got that might be described by it and just keeps presenting. You go, I hadn't thought of that, which is great. That's a really good creative boost, as it were. The other thing which for me is brilliant is I can bring up all these sound effects libraries of people walking, crunching gravel, dogs barking, wolves, elephants, all sorts of weird shit that I've recorded, people dropping bags of chains into a skip. All the stuff that I've used over the years to build up, it just finds all of those as well, and suddenly they become musical, which is flipping brilliant. Vocal samples, just people saying random stuff, that suddenly becomes really useful because you hear it out of context, and it stimulates a new idea. So I really like this. I think it's a really good idea. Yeah,
it's very clever. What do you think? I mean, you have the sample libraries to end all sample libraries.
I mean,
I know a lot of your sample libraries are specific instruments and collections of instruments, and maybe not so much just collections of one-shot samples or loops and things. But could you make use of something like this?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can always make use of things like this. I like the fact that it'll take a single sample and then make it into a musical across the keyboard. That's an interesting add, as opposed to, I think Blue Cat would just do the just load the particular instrument you're after, but it has to load the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
Admittedly, this is going to be brilliant for people who want to do very specific kind of music. I mean, the sample libraries, a lot of the sample libraries I have come with layers.
Yeah.
And of course, that isn't listed in the sample when this thing finds it. And then there'll be key switching stuff that are associated with that one sample, which this won't pick up on, and the user won't pick up on, because the whole point is your player loads that whole patch, so you don't have to know what all the samples are involved in it.
But that's the point. That's the beauty of it as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is it. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword in its own right, but it actually works in favour of being creative.
Yeah.
And you will end up using sounds that you probably didn't even know you had in your life. I mean, if you've got 14 terabyte, you don't know all the sounds you got. You can download a rather extensive sample library, and there'll be a million samples in there that you don't know there, unless you're going to go through one after the other. And honest to God, there is not enough time in the world.
Universe, till the end of the universe to check them all out, right?
But to focus into a certain genre and bring it forward, scroll through them and go, I like the sound of that one, and use it. And the fact that it has the sequencer there, you can add effects to it and stuff like that. I think that would be really good at being creative, but from a clean slate.
Just giving you a starting point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, starting point.
And without having to clutter up everything by having your your enormous door fire up, and you start setting up stuff. Even if you've got a template, you tend to go to the same things all the time. So this is going to get you to go and root around in that cupboard that you haven't been in for 2 years.
You remember when Ty was on a few weeks back, and he had that player Life, I think it was called, which allows you to walk around, record things on your mobile phone and whatever, and start putting things together. Yeah. This is kind of like the extension for that. This is taking everything you've got. Yeah. So, as long as you describe it as audio and put it in a library somewhere and have access to it, this will be able to find it and do weird stuff with it, which is brilliant. That's a really, really good thing, isn't it?
Well, I think the catchphrase is going to have to be here, Robbie. How many penny, Benny?
Not a lot.
Go on.
No.
I was trying to think of a name that rhymes with lot. Other than Lot, obviously, from the
Scott.
Bible. Scott, not a lot, Scott. Thank you. Good save. It's normally 69 of your US dollars, but right now, 30% off, $49.
And that is how much in real money?
In about
40 quid.
Yeah,
45 quid, yeah.
Fine. Brilliant. Yeah, I think that, because I think it's down to the individual. How you use this will determine how useful a tool it will be for you. But I can think of it being quite good from working from a blank canvas, which has always been the worst thing I've had to ever do, is to start from blank canvas. But it will take, like somebody has pointed out, it'll take about 14 weeks for it to scan through my sample library. But hey, I'm not busy.
What I couldn't determine was
like
exactly how it picks the samples. I'm assuming it is as simple as it goes through the sample names. So, if you're searching for cowbell, of course, who wouldn't? You would have to have the samples named as cowbell. If you just sampled it CB1, CB2, CB3, unless, of course, there is something a little bit more powerful going on. And if that was the case, then I would imagine this would be machine learning based, maybe require a connection to the internet, and people wouldn't like that. You don't. That's the thing. This is completely offline. It's $49. So I'm assuming that it's either going to go through file name or maybe some metadata that's in the file headers or whatever, and pick out stuff that way.
That's exactly what it's doing. It's not doing AI. I mean, AI. No. This is the kind of thing AI can excel at, which is media intelligence. Essentially examining the files, looking at the content, and trying to determine, using AI and machine learning, exactly what kind of sound it is, and then it adds its own metadata, and at that point can choose that. This isn't doing that. This is literally just you point it at a folder, and then you select the kind of thing you want. Whether or not it's using the existing metadata or how it's named, I've no idea. But it seems to be pretty good at finding stuff. The fact is, you're not going to find everything that's a pad. You're going to find weird stuff as well and miss some stuff. But as Kent said, as a starting point for people who are kind of, I don't know what to do, everything, it's the same chords and the same sounds. Yeah. Use this. Try it. It's a really good thing. It's a really good starting point. Yeah, exactly, it's a really good starting point.
Exactly that.
Yeah,
and it's 49 quid or dollars. Yeah. And people are arguing in the chat about the name.
Rando.
Anyway, that is Rando, unashamedly Rando from Monkey C, and the website is monkeyc.audio. Go and find them there. I'm just thinking, we've got no moderators in the chat. I've not seen any of our moderators. Obviously, Andy.
Go to town, guys.
Andy Brooks.
yeah.
I mean, we can still moderate. We can still moderate. But Andy Brooks, of course, is in Bristol. Andy Joyce, I think, is getting ready for something that we're going to be talking about in just a moment. And I haven't seen Ben from Musings. So they normally put the links up to these things. And I just don't really sort of have the arms and the legs to do that.
Righty-ho. So for Rainbow...
I'm also a bit concerned. There's a lot of noise outside my studio window at the moment. It sounds like lorries and stuff. Bearing in mind that I live in a small cul-de-sac type thing, it's a little bit... They've stopped now, so they've gone.
I'm just banging that up there now.
Thank you very much.
And I'll do the choir one as well.
There we go. Yes, thank you. I think they might have been doing the drains. Even though it's this time of year when the water's
Oh, I know that metaphor well.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, thank you for that, Andrew, for putting that. So if you want the links, they are there in the chat. There's the one for Rando, and the choir one will be going up there very shortly, I'm sure. Right, let's see. Can we have a sit rep on the EMOM from people that are watching in the chat? We don't mind you doing that. But is it going well?
Rep.
Is it? Yeah. What's going on?
Sit rep.
So a sit rep.
Can we stream it from here?
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that, and then we could just pop off down the pub.
Apparently, I'm getting a look in as well.
Oh, apparently you are. You've been sampled.
You've
been randoed.
I've been randoed, mate.
Randoed, mate. Randoed.
Yeah.
So go on, explain.
Well, apparently there's a couple of samples of me being used in Andy and Grace's set, and I'm looking forward to see what they've picked. I hope it's something broadcastable.
I hope it's not.
Oh, okay.
I hope it's one of your many aphorisms.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to it. Well, let's talk about Andy and Grace, shall we? Because there is something going on. I don't know what's going on outside. It's all
Sounds like one of the trucks just run over a small child.
if it's them across the road.
Oh, okay.
That was on camera.
Internal community policing, it's called.
Yes. Andy and Grace, who are
Vigilantes.
excuse the pun. Yeah,
I'm
they're
sorry.
vigilantes. Andy and Grace, who will be gracing the stage at the Sonic State EMOM.
I see what you did there.
They'll be gracing the stage at the
That
Sonic
was
State
Andy.
EMOM in Bristol. Not Bristol, Bath. What am I saying? It's not Bristol, it's Bath, for crying out loud. It's at Bath Football Club. They've got a new album out.
Yes.
And I might actually have a clip of a track, and I'm hoping that Grace won't come down on me like a ton of bricks for copyright reasons. But hey, I like living dangerously. I know you're going to really hate me for getting into it. It starts to really get interesting now. This brilliant intro there by Andy and Grace. It's not all modular. See, he's playing a proper keyboard and singing.
Keyboard.
Singing and stuff. Very nice it was. That was 56k board, which is off of their new album, so it is, called Lost Sheep Hardware Jams Volume 3 in brackets. And it's available now on Bandcamp from andyandgrace.bandcamp.com. And that's track 2 on this wonderful album, which has 10 tracks. But if you download the full album, you get 4 bonus tracks thrown in for Nout as well, which is very good. Go get it. I mean, they're 2 of our favourite people in our community, and they make great music together. And they're well worth going to watch. So if you're in Bath tonight, make sure you watch them and give them a shout out from us. But yeah, I think Andrew, would you like to take care of the link at all? Actually, maybe I can do it from here.
I've already done it.
Oh, you've already done it.
I've already done it.
Okay, well, now
Do you want me to do it again?
No, I've just done it. There you go. It's there. So the link is in the chat. It's a name your price. So give them as much money as you can.
Yeah, you tight bastards.
Yeah. So there you go. Go for it.
Marketing. That's called marketing.
That's marketing, mate.
This is their
101.
third compendium of submissions to the Hardware Jams weekend challenges during last year. And, of course, they have other content available on their Bandcamp page. And that came out today. And go and fill your boots with that, please.
Give us your moolah.
Yeah, give them. Give them. It's not us. Give them.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
because they are both valuable, vibrant members of our community. I saw Andy at the weekend, and he was looking incredibly Nietzsche-esque with his
That's
beard.
not going to go away.
I
really
did tickle. I had to tickle his beard. His beard and his mohawk, and he was having lots of fun with everybody else at Synth East on Saturday. And of course, Grace is just marvellous. She's a superb sound engineer for the likes of Paolo Nutini and others. She does a fantastic job there, and she's also a great musician, and always coming in here and filling us with her wisdom and her wit. So there you go. Go and
it's
buy
good.
that.
It's a good album.
It's
I've
good
had
stuff.
a listen. It's
They are
very good.
they are very good. And if you are watching the EMOM that's currently going on in Bath, presented by Sonic State, they will be on. I don't know what time they're on, but go and have a look there. Right. Talking of other people in our community, let's big up some more people in our community because, ladies and germs, there is going to be a brand new synthesizer-related stream starting right after this show at about 9:30 p.m. UK time. So we must make sure we don't waffle on too long because we don't want to tread on people's toes. This live stream is going to be presented by none other than Eddie. Eddie Froese, I think most people know him by his Frose name. I forget his surname. He's Eduardo. He's Spanish. He lives down in Somerset. Which it's an odd combination, but there you go. And he's going to be doing this new live stream where he's going to combine his passion for synthesizers and electric guitars. There's clearly people out there that do this. Now, I need to make a couple of things clear before I give you the link to go and watch this. So first of all, the channel, go and find this channel now and subscribe to it. So it's youtube.com/@FloydRose1000. So I will put that in the chat. Let's just do
Already doing it.
You're a bit slow. Done.
All right, there we go.
But due to some technical difficulties, tonight's opening show is actually going to be done on another channel / link, and I'm going to find that and post that up. Let's find.
Is that the one with the guitar synthesizer-y thing?
With the big guitar synthesizer-y thing.
Yeah, got it. So I'll post that because that way I feel like I'm being useful.
You do the link, and I will put the page up on the screen. There we go. So it's on Eddie's kind of like own personal channel, but he has set up a special one. But tonight's launch show, which goes live in 93 minutes, is called Guitar Synthesizers. But why the? And it will go live at 9:30. So I don't know what is in store other than discussions about guitars and synthesizers. So if that's your bag, even if it's not your bag, just go and give him a like and a subscribe. That would be good. And Andy Synth Addict, who is now in the chat, apparently the channel was open too late to stream today. That's fair enough. So go and they'll just go there. It'll all be explained. The links are in the chat. Go there. Go both places. Brand new live stream. Yeah, all good. Following the show, and apparently it will continue to do so every Friday night around 9:30 p.m. UK, which gives us more incentives to make sure we shut up shop in time. So there we go. Good luck to you, Eddie, and to Andy as well. Hope you have, excuse me, Windy Pops. I hope you have enormous success, and I shall try and give that a look. Although, unfortunately, once I finish this show, it's like I shut off for the weekend.
It's back to the Catwish shade, isn't it?
It's back to it's back to that, and they put me back in my box for another week. But I will promise I will watch on catch up. So it might be something I can stick on tomorrow morning before rounds. But yeah, that's the beauty of Tinternet and YouTube. So good luck with that, and please go and subscribe and give it a like and a thumbs up and all of that stuff. Go and support these people. They're doing it just for you, and who knows? Right, let's get rid of that off of there. Good luck to Eddie and Andy. Let's see, what else can we discuss? Never let it be said that we don't bring you information about great deals to be had in the world of music technology, and there is, from now until the end of the year, going to be a continuous stream of amazing deals coming from if not the world's, Europe's largest music retailer. And I want to put this out straight away. We are not affiliated with this company at all whatsoever, so we are not getting any kickback from advertising this. I just thought people would like to know. So Thomann are celebrating 70 years in business. Allegedly, this started as a tiny little store in this little place in Germany and has grown to become the biggest music retailer in Europe. Now, some people may like that or might not because of the whole bricks and mortar versus online stuff, but I think we can all agree that Thomann do some very good deals, and that is Treppendorf. So you can see it's this tiny little village, and then behind it is this massive facility, which I've not been invited to yet.
So it started out as Thomann. Did it then become Footman and then Legman? And what it grew? What?
So it's a big thing. It's a big thing. But what they've done is 70 years, and they're going to do a whole bunch of deals throughout the entire year. And then there's going to be, I think, is it every month they're going to do like some special super deals for like a limited time. So there's always going to be something going on. But one of the first things that one of the first deals that they're doing, and you might have spotted it, the eagle-eyed amongst you might have spotted it. X101 spotted something, but it's not quite what you think it is. Do you remember the Waldorf Pulse? And
yes.
It got discontinued, last year or the year before?
No,
last year, I think. Yeah, according to my colleague at Guinness, it was last year. It's back, and it's blue.
Oh.
They've actually spoken to Waldorf, and Waldorf has said, yeah, we'll make some of these in blue. Or maybe they've just gone, you know what happened at the end of last year? We did the stock take, and behind the cupboard, we found a few of these, and a can of blue paint. They could have chosen They could have chosen a better patch to take the photo with, couldn't they?
Well, yeah.
Poos.
But who knows? But the Waldorf Pulse 2 got discontinued, but is back for Thomann's 70th anniversary in this special limited edition blue finish, and it is a mere $362, which I think in euros is about $399. So UK is going to be somewhere around that $350. But yeah, it's it's a blue Waldorf Pulse. So if you were like cursing, oh damn, I didn't get that Pulse, but they've now stopped doing it, you can get a brand new one, and it's a special one as well. What else have they got? They have got a special limited edition, Thomann edition Arturia key step with 3 blue knobs.
3 blue.
That's an alternative name for this show. Look, 1, 2, 3.
Well, it's cold in here.
It is, yeah, it's chilly. But yeah, and this is a bargain at just $89 or €99.
Rat bargain.
Rat bargain for a Thomann edition key step, which is a favourite amongst many people. So there you go. And there are other deals to be had. Polyend Tracker for $363. The Korg Opsix SE Platinum. This is the one that no, Ty's got the Wave State Platinum. So you can be the FM version of Ty for for $1,545 US.
I think it's rather interesting that they're getting, they're asking manufacturers to put out things with their own branding on it, as it were, or their own look. I think that's kind of an interesting trend. I wonder if we're going to see more of that.
I think it kind of speaks to the fact that Thomann are the biggest, and so they've got
sell
those
one
kind
or
of
two
relationships.
things, don't they? Yeah, one or
they
two.
can go to these people and say, "Come on." MPK 261 for $269. That's not a bad price for what is. I've never actually tried these newer versions. I've got an MPK 49 which was built like a brick outhouse, and my son's got the MPK 88 which is built like a row of brick outhouses. So I don't believe they're any different.
Have you got a brick outhouse built like an MPK though? Because that would be kind of odd, wouldn't it?
Very cool, wouldn't it? I did used to live in a house with a brick house. Lots of pianos and arrangers for our Genos loving friends. And oh look, there's a keyboard stand, which I believe is suitable for things such as a DX1 for just 159 euros. But yeah, there's lots of stuff. So go and check out Thomann's website. Or better still, go to Gear News, where we are literally highlighting everything in each category as soon as it comes out. So go and give us a like and a follow on gearnews.com, and you'll get all your information there.
You sure that was a keyboard stand and not Behringer's BS80?
Yeah, well, it's got about as much substance as that at the moment.
If you look really hard, I think it could be Behringer's BS80. Yeah, it looks it.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see the keyboard there.
Yeah, you can see the intent.
Yeah, the programming, the sounds.
I don't see any tents there. Well, it's not camping, sir. Anyway, there you go. Just thought I'd let everyone know that there's a big sale on, and there will be lots of deals between now and the end of the year, with special ones sort of coming throughout the year for certain limited times. But we all like a good bargain. And it's my birthday coming up in July, so just hint.
It's everybody's birthday coming up this year, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Can't get away from it.
No,
God. Unfortunately, old father time.
Just keeps coming round.
Indeed. Talking of Arturia, as we did, just a little bit tenuous link there, into something that's again tenuously linked to Arturia, but not Arturia. So you might know of a guy called Luke Million. You often see his videos pop up on social media, where he's got a wonderful studio full of lots of vintage gear, and he does lots of kind of recreations of stuff. And he's a very talented individual, but he also has started to do sound packs, and one of those has just been released the other day or the other week. This is his Mini Freak Vintage Keys Deluxe Sound Bank, and it is a mere 15 Australian dollars, not US dollars. So that's about £8, which is pretty good. He did a free version, and that free version is still available from his website. But this is a new deluxe edition where you just pay a little bit for it. But it's 50 Mini Freak patches, and if I'm clever enough, I might be able to show you the video.
Oh, go on.
Guys, I've created a new sound bank for the Arturia Mini Freak, which is fast becoming one of my favorite new synthesizers.
It is.
I've drawn inspiration from all my synthesizers in my room and harnessed the power of the various sound engines in this little beast.
Let's move on to some of the sounds. And I'm just literally flicking through. I'm not picking these because they're special. Come on, give us some big pads. Where are your pads?
Go along a little.
Anyway, you can go and watch this extensive 20-minute video on Luke Million's YouTube channel. There's a link to it from the page where you can buy this stuff, which is lukemillion.com. And I bought these today and was incredibly impressed because they not only will work on the hardware synth, they'll also work on the software synth, which you must own to be able to move these across to the hardware. But you get the software if you've bought the hardware anyway. But there you go. Really good sounds. He's also got a couple of drum machine banks, SP12 sample bank, and an Oberheim DMX sample bank, which also come with Ableton Live drum maps as well. So literally ready to go out of the box. I just thought those were very interesting sounds for not a lot of money. And his free sound bank is available still, which you can download there. So I mean, I went and bought everything on that site for 20 quid today. Not bad.
Wow.
Have you guys got Mini Freak or Mini Freak V at all? So are you familiar with that synth?
I once had a Mini Cooper.
No.
No. Okay.
All right then.
No, I don't. But I've been intrigued by it. You know, that end of the market. They've really turned out some cracking stuff, haven't they?
The Mini Freak just blows me away every time I
Yeah.
power it on. And I look at it at the moment. It's propped up against a shelf over there. I keep thinking I need to bring it in somewhere because it's such a good thing. Such a good thing. Really, really powerful, expressive, and very capable synthesizer. So yes, there's some good sounds for it there from Luke Million.
They are good sounds. Actually, they're really good sounds. If you know, if you just want a place to start, they're really good. He's done a really good job with those.
Indeed. So lukemillion.com. That's the Arturia Mini Freak Vintage Keys Deluxe.
Is it me? But we've not growled or grumbled about anything so far this week.
We haven't, no.
No.
And I can't see where we might, because everything's quite positive. This week. Yeah. Sorry.
Have we got a piece of wood that's a synthesizer guitar?
No. They friend requested me on Facebook this week.
Yeah.
And I always find it if we are less than
So they're desperate then?
enthusiastic about a product, when that manufacturer friend requests you on social media, you're like, oh god, am I going to open myself up to a whole load of abuse? But it's been quiet. I did accept it, you know. But no, nothing. So
good to them for trying something out. Finish
Absolutely.
the idea and don't just put out the first thing you build.
anyway, look, we're going to be positive. Stop it.
We
We're
are.
going to be positive. How do I get rid of that? Anyway.
Definitely shit. There you go. It's about as positive as you can get, isn't it? Definitely. Totally.
Yeah. There we go.
100%.
Remove that from the studio. Right. Okay. So that's Luke Million's Arturia Mini Freak Sound Bank for 15 of your Australian rando dollars. Somebody did in the chat say, "Is that rando?" I don't know. Is he a rando? I don't know. Yeah, getting a friend request from that company was better than Rafa Sayed's friend request. Yep, that's very true. We'll swiftly move along.
He's painting my bathroom.
Hang on.
Is
hang
he?
on, hang on. May I just address this? Somebody, this guy's grumbling about Collier. I'm not sure
we
that
didn't grumble.
We didn't grumble, and I happen to really like him, and I think he's a genius. Just to set the record straight, I think he's an absolute genius. I'm not always a fan of all of his work, like Bridge Over Troubled Water. I thought was over elaborate and lost the soul of the song. That's my opinion. But some of his other stuff he's done is astonishing. So that was just to illustrate the Marmite point we were making when we talked about the choir. So there we go. It's covered.
That track that you posted up, I think last week, that he did. I think he did that back last year. Stonking track.
Cracking track.
It's a proper earworm. It's a really good, fun track, fun video. And if he made an album of stuff that was in that vein, I'd buy it. But yeah, there are other things. But yes, don't worry, Sean. Don't worry. We know you're only joking. It's fine. By the way, met Sean at the weekend. Very nice man. Helped us in with the DX1 and everything.
Excellent. Well done, Sean.
Very nice man. Very nice man. Right.
Very nice man.
Some more news. Cherry Audio, our friends at Cherry Audio, they're only in the acquisitions game.
Wow.
They have bought 2 plugins from a company called GG Audio that are apparently incredibly good at what they do. One is a plugin emulation of a B3 organ, which is called Blue 3, and the other is an emulation of a Leslie speaker called Spin.
Sorry, is that why you're a little hoarse? Because GG Audio. Two in one show.
Should we go for the hat trick? No. Anyway, Cherry Audio have bought these 2 plugins and will now be taking over their development, sale, and distribution in the future. And this is, I mean, we've not got the plugins, we've not got Cherry Audio here to tell us all about this. There is a press release on the cherryaudio.com website on their news page. But this is interesting. Cherry Audio now not only making plugins, they're buying technology, and they will be building these into their catalogue very soon indeed. If you own these instruments, they advise everyone to go out and download the latest updates right now, and that will just make the transition period from GG Audio to Cherry Audio a lot smoother. But yeah, interesting stuff. Next time we have Dan and Mitchell on, we will have to ask them about that.
I love the look of the Leslie plugin.
Yeah,
really do.
Yeah. There's some good stuff going on there. So I can't comment on either of those. I've not tried them, but they are they come well. What's the word I'm looking for? Well hung. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Highly recommended.
Highly recommended. That's
Oh, right.
Something
why
like
that.
that.
Why that invaded my brain? This thing is, I'm losing it. I really am.
Is it low slung wang?
Low slow wang.
It's one or the other. I can never pick it right.
Anyway, there you go. So Cherry Audio are in the acquisitions business now, which is always good. So because they sort of did that, well, they didn't. They didn't acquire Octave, but they did that whole thing with Octave Cat, and they now own that brand or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, great.
Or the rights to it or something.
Yeah, they're doing really well, and yeah, we love them. So when we next have Dan and Mitchell on, we will speak to them about that, I'm sure. But yeah,
And make sure
stuff.
Tiny isn't in the vicinity.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Right. What should we do next? Let's have a look at the time. We've got 45 minutes left, so we've got plenty of time here. I think the next thing we should talk about is another freebie, because we are full of freebies this week.
B3, not 3B.
Oh, 3B. So this is limited for a...
Where's me
it's
bell?
free for a limited time, not limited for a free time.
Where's the...
Oh,
It's
sorry.
you.
There you go.
It's you. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There you
Yeah.
Yeah. Softube have
Yes.
released their VCA compressor free for a limited time only. They don't say how limited, but it is. It's part of their Icons compressor collection. Put my tooth in. But yeah, it's one of these compressors that you get in a pack, but they're giving you this one completely free. I think its ticket price is about 149 US, and you can get this for free now. If you go to Softube, make sure you've got an account at Softube, and you will need an iLock account as well, a free iLock account. You don't need to have the stick. As long as you've got the cloud-based account, that's fine. And you can add this to your collection, and then just use the Softube program to download and install it for you in a very simple, efficient fashion. It's also Console 1 ready. I haven't had a chance to play with this. I've already got this actually, but I've not really ever used it, which is terrible. But yeah, so it's normally 149 and is completely free of charge. But of course, you can buy the whole collection as well. Softube have got a sale across the board on their stuff right now as well. They do some very cool things, particularly as Kent will tell you, the Minimoog emulation, which I bought on your recommendation and don't regret it at all. It's very good. Did either of you get a chance to have a download and a play with this or not?
No,
Yes.
no. My
Oh, go on
VCAs are already very, very small.
Yes. Okay, it's 2-2.
Yeah.
Go on then.
That was very limited. So,
Ooh.
so the thing is, often people, I think an awful lot of people don't really get compressors. And they think a compressor is a compressor is a compressor, a bit like an EQ is an EQ is an EQ. But they do work, different compressors do work in different ways and do suit different things completely differently. So I do a lot of voiceover work where I record voice artists and then process them. This compressor wouldn't work for that particularly well. It's okay, but it won't work for that. But if you're doing drums, my God, this thing is absolutely savage. It's brilliant, and it does have a particular character. The harmonic character of it, when you're compressing, is very much that FET. There's a very distinctive sound to it. It's not like a valve thing, which is warmer, but it's a good thing. Thing is, this is free, and you can try this out, and it won't work on everything. But that's the point. They're doing this as a tester and as a teaser, and because of that, it's really worth getting because you get to try this out and see what it's like. The quality of their plugins is superb.
Oh, yeah.
It really is, and it's I wasn't looking at any more compressors because I've got loads, but I suddenly realised the technology has moved on a lot. It's really moved on a lot, and it's time to invest in some more. So I'll probably get this whole pack from Softtube. They do some extraordinarily good stuff.
Yeah, you can't.
And the light,
you can't fault them.
Light on the CPU as well, which is really good.
Yes, yeah, indeed. Yeah, I forgotten that I'd got this. To be honest, so when somebody said to me today, "Oh, by the way, Softtube are chucking out their VCA compressor for free," I'm like, "Oh, right, go on." Did it, and then I get to my Softtube Central, the little application, and it's already there. Which I must have got it. Either they made it free, or I don't think I paid for it. They probably made it free, or they made something free that came with it. So, yeah, I should know what this sounds like.
And here's the thing. Today, today I've been working on a particular voiceover we recorded yesterday, and we recorded it remotely. And I got sent the audio files, and I needed to just do some mastering on it to get it up to the right level. And generally I'll do a little bit of EQ and a little bit of mastering and some compression at the front and some limiting at the back end. And with this one, I put this compressor on there because I had to do it. I just thought I'll throw something on like you do and it should be okay. It brought out this chest. I thought it was a room tone, and I'm thinking this room sounding like it's got reverb in it. And it wasn't. When I played around with it for about 20 minutes, I suddenly realised it's the chest cavity. It's accentuating that particular frequency, so for vocals, it wasn't really doing the job. And I bought something else in which did work straight away. And it's kind of, okay, now I've got it. So, but then I also tried it on a drum track just to see. And my God, it gave so much presence to snares and hats, keeping everything under control, but really giving it that crack at the front. And so, great thing. Love it to pieces. Really do.
Cool stuff.
Good thing. Good
thing. Yeah, if you want that, it is free. Softtube.com/VCA-compressor, or just go to softtube.com. It's on the front page. It's limited, free for a limited time. So get in there quick if you want this. Why wouldn't you? It's free. If you don't like it, you've not lost anything. Right. Now then, was it last week or the week before that we spoke about the new Tal synth, the Talfa, which was the Alpha Juno 2
Alpha.
emulation.
I think it was last week, wasn't
Talfa.
it? Alpha.
Yeah. You put it out with Whip It and Bite a Beer.
And Southern. Southern.
So I actually bought Talfa today, and I've been very impressed with it. I really do like it. I know I'd never thought I'd say that about an Alpha Juno, but there you go. And I watched a video. I forget who it was now. But it was about an hour and a half long live stream, but I wasn't watching it live. And they were comparing it directly with the hardware, and it's Rizzler paper difference. It's just such a thin difference. They've done a very good job. But talking about Alpha Junos, our friend Craig Aspin over at Sweet Discreet announced today that he is going to be doing Alpha Juno 1 and Alpha Juno 2 membrane replacements for both the left and the right on an Alpha Juno 2 and an Alpha Juno 1. If you want one of these for your Alpha Juno, you just need to send him a £10 deposit, and then once he's got enough orders in, he'll get them all made up, and you'll get yours and you just pay the balance. And the balance is, or so, not the balance, but the full price is for the Juno 1 is 49 quid, and for the Juno 2 it's 59. So not a lot difference. And our resident Alpha Juno owner, Matt Evans, has already ordered his. So there you go. Thanks for the link in there, Andrew. So yeah, if you've got a genuine hardware Alpha Juno and you're looking for some of those replacement button membranes, then Sweet Discreet is the place to go. And of course, Craig does some amazing work. I know Kent's made use of his stuff when doing restorations. I've got some stuff here, mostly which is in reserve in case the originals that I've already got, which are fairly good at the moment, go. I've already got some ready to be put in there. But he does some brilliant stuff, and it's not just membranes. It's full. He does full on paint jobs. So he will take, for example, let's just bring this one up here. So I think it's under Synth bodies. He will take for example, let's pick my favourite synth in the world, the Yamaha DX7, surprise, and he will do a complete paint job. So chemical strip down to the bare metal, respray it with 1-to-1 colour matched paint, and then re-silk screen it. It's not a cheap job, I will grant you. It's about 500 quid to do the DX7. As you can see, some of these prices for others, like for example, he'll do a full Jupiter 8 for just shy of £2,000. But I suppose if you're able to buy a Jupiter 8, or maybe you want to sell it, then an investment like that is probably not too bad. But yeah, he'll even do the DX7 Mark II Centennial Edition, and that's a job and a half, because that was very limited. So yeah, there's lots of good stuff there. So if you're looking for synth restoration stuff and drum machine restoration and outboard restoration and membranes and overlays, Sweet Discreet is the name you need to look for. They are, well, Craig, should I say, is absolutely brilliant. He's just a lovely guy as well, which always helps. No, he wasn't the guy that did the white Juno. Here it is, Ken. He's back again, the white Juno.
Yeah, the white Junos. Yeah, no, that was
That's Jeff.
it was Jeff, wasn't it? Jeff Toman.
Jeff Toman. And didn't you do the insides?
Oh, I had to do all the assemblies and restorations on them. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Sadly, Jeff has hung up his restoration boots. But yeah, Craig is certainly doing a very good job there, and I can vouch for the quality of his. I can vouch for the quality of his membrane. That sounds a bit strange.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Giving myself one there. So yeah, we'll just cut that short. Yeah, sweetdiscreet.co.uk. Go and fill your buttes. Buttes? Buttes even.
What the
Buttes. Maybe I'm thinking of Mike Metley. Why would I want to do that?
I did quite a few of those VSCs now, come to think of it. They were very popular. Very popular indeed. I think we were selling them at 1,100 quid or something, with MIDI and everything fitted. And they were going out the door faster than I could build them.
Yeah.
Bizarrely. Except Richard kept buying them with voices gone, or the power supply missing. It was like, God's sake, Richard, why you make my life so fucking difficult? But there you go. Yes.
Look at that. Full metal case restoration on a 909 using factory style vinyl wrap as they were originally made from 99 quid. Not bad.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, if you are looking to make your stuff minty again, that's the place to go. Anyway, that's enough of that. Good luck to Craig. And if you...
Craigo,
he's a bit of a rando. If you go to that website, just tell him we sent you, because he does like to know, and you know, we want to make sure that we're getting our credit for sending business his way. but yeah, it's if you want one of those Alpha Juno things, it's 49 and 59 for the 1 and the 2 respectively. Get your deposits in, and then he'll have those made up. There we go.
Indeed.
Right. We've got half an hour left, and we've talked about that.
Impromptu dance number.
Well, no, we've got a couple of things. So here's a couple of things that we can kind of do one off of the other, because they're kind of linked. So last weekend was Synth East, which I'll tell you about a little bit about, because it was Pro Synth Network's first kind of official show presence that we've ever done. However, there is another one.
Another one
happening, which we are not going to, because I think I've got something else on, unfortunately. But it's the London Synth and Pedal Expo. A weird combination of things, but
one begets the other.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there's lots of guitarists that use synthesizers and synthesizers that use pedals, and so they've blended the two. And here is this is the second edition of the London Synth and Pedal Expo. It's going to take place at Studio 9294 in Hackney Wick in London. It's where all the cool kids hang out these days. Apparently, it's free entry. And it's going to be on for the 16th and the 17th of March between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. on both days. And there is going to be a lot of people there, and a lot of people represented. So let's have a look. I mean, look at the synth vendors alone. Some of these three distributors.
Wow.
But yeah, there's lots of people going to be there. And then lots of pedal vendors as well. And apparently it's a completely headphone-based event, so you're not going to have to compete with the noises of modular synths and guitars, which is my idea of hell. Probably alienate some of our audience. But
No.
you bring your own headphones.
Talking of which, I noticed BLL instruments aren't there.
No, that would have been a great place for them to be.
Yeah, it would actually. It really
Cool,
would.
girl.
Thing is, Anthony Marinelli, he loves putting his synths through. He has lots and lots of foot pedals. So this, it's not, it's not an unknown thing. In fact, it's
not
in
at
some
all.
places it's a really popular thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, all good.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to see if I can free up time just to go and have a nosy round, because for me, Hackney Wick, I can just drive down to Newbury Park and then jump on the tube and then get on the overground, I think it is.
And catch another
Dalston.
cold.
Is it Dalston? Somewhere.
Catch another cold.
Another cold.
Yeah.
No, my defences should still be strong.
Leave early. It's 20 mile an hour speed limit everywhere now.
Well, yeah, this is true. No, I'll get the trains in and stuff, but
Even the trains.
yeah. Well, this is true. This
Yeah.
is true. But yeah, there's another event that's happening. There's more of these little things happening. I really like it, especially these smaller ones.
Yeah.
That are well represented, both in terms of audience numbers and of people there, displaying stuff. So that's the London Synth and Pedal Expo, which
And it's
starts
a hell of a lot of people displaying there. That's a really
and it's free.
unexpected. That it's that many.
Yeah.
It's great.
Absolutely free. And I had a quick look at the venue as well, Studio 9294. There are two studios, one at 92 Wallace Road and one at 94, hence the name. But they're two sort of live event spaces, and they look really cool. So, it should be an interesting day. So if you're going, I might see you there. If not, I won't. It's as simple as that, really. But talking of events, I say we went to one, I went. Not that's not a criticism.
They wouldn't let me in.
No, I made sure of that. I said, "Don't let him in." He looks a bit like a chubby Michael McDonald. And they said,
Listen, I'll take that. I once
take
got
that,
mistaken for Gary Glitter at an airport.
"Oh, do you know I can see it now."
No, listen.
Can you, Ken?
After all of the
I have
accusations,
seen it, yeah.
After all of the accusations and the trials, so he was guilty. Everyone knew what he'd done. Someone came up to me and said, "Are you Gary Glitter?" And I went, "No, I'm not." Well, can I have your autograph? I said, "No, I'm not him." And they're asking for the autograph of a convicted twat. And I'm thinking, what? So Michael McDonald, chubby Michael McDonald.
Chubby Michael McDonald, you'll take that every day of the week.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
I'll take that every day.
I always thought of Martin Sheen with leukemia.
Martin or Michael?
What?
Michael. I beg pardon, yeah. Not Martin. No, sorry, Michael.
Oh dear. Yeah, Justin's asking, did Gary ever have a Range Rover? Oh dear.
Yeah, but he was at the right end.
He was at the right end.
Yeah,
whereas,
Anyway, back to normality. Synth East. Now,
where's my
because I was
mask?
participating, I didn't really take many pictures, so you're going to have to kind of Google that stuff. There were some posted up on our Facebook page. So I haven't got any video to share or any pictures to share, which is
Pencil
awfully remiss.
sketches.
Yeah, I can tell you about. Basically, Norwich Arts Centre is a converted church. So you can imagine, it's the main expo space is this big, grandiose kind of room with big stone columns and windows and all that kind of stuff. But there's a stage plonked at the end, and everyone was set up in the middle and around the edges. And the best thing about the whole day was not only was it a great chance for everyone to get together again, and there's lots of familiar faces, lots of new faces as well. I met the guys from Take the Fear Out the Gear. They were on the stand next to us.
Yeah.
They're a right couple of laughs. They really are. Great fun. So hello to Mr. Chumley Warner and Jason Bangers, who are, that's their names. And they run a channel called Take the Fear Out the Gear. They are just down the road from me. So they're just across the border in Essex, and I'm in Suffolk. So we were keeping the East Anglian end up at our local synth meet.
Oh, wow.
And this is how it sounded.
All right, Les. So because
He's not naked.
he's not. They brought a whole bunch of Behringer gear, and they called their display "Attack of the Clones," and they went the whole way, and they even had a stormtrooper, an almost life-size stormtrooper on their stand. They're a proper giggle, those two. They don't take themselves seriously at all, and they're really good fun to talk to. And Jason has promised me to send some of the footage that he took, because he's got proper professional camera gear and stuff.
Dun, dun, dun.
So he was doing some really extensive shooting. And Steve has just pointed out, they put a video up on their channel, which is like part one of a series of videos that cover the event. And at the end, they got this kind of nice angled shot of the DX1, and as they panned out, they catch me wiping the keys down with antibacterial cloths. Yeah, I did turn the volume down. I am a professional, But I was doing my bit to stop the spread of any lurgy, and of course, ironically, I come home with lurgy.
Told you not to suck the cloth.
Yeah. So yeah, that was slightly embarrassing. However, this show, I've got to say, it's not the scale of NAMM, not by a million miles. It's not the scale of Super Booth. It's not even the scale of Synth Fest, but it's big enough. And it was so well organised and so well run and so well laid out that we got in, we set up, the show happened, we broke down, we got everything out on time. There was live music during the show, so they do this thing. So they had 2 or 3 artists doing stuff just on their own, like e-momming type thing, 15-20 minutes on stage. And then in the afternoon they had the patch off, which is where they draw names out of the hat and they put 2 people together to kind of just improvise something with their modular gear. So I think it was it was Gaz. He did it with a lady called Nina who makes all her own modules and was incredibly good. It was very acidy. Then it was Jason Jervis, Get Jervis. He was with, I believe I remember rightly, Steve Davis. And then it was Mylar. No, was it not Mylar Melodies and Steve Davis and Jervis and Robin? Anyway, what it did during the show was it just punctuated it and gave everybody a little bit of a breather. So for 20 minutes, everyone would just kind of like stop, watch what's going on the stage, and then 20 minutes after that, they'd go back to that, and the noise levels would all balance nicely. It was almost organic. Nobody was ordering people to stop. People just stopped, watched the music, appreciated it, and went back to it. It was so well done. There were stands everywhere. Korg were there. Luke from Korg was there. So, he's a very famous face now. Steve and his Yamaha, he had the MX-8 there. Everybody was fawning over that. He couldn't get enough of the DX1. Here's a weird story. So over 20 years ago, I used to go into a shop that used to be Carlsberg, and then it became Academy of Sound, and has since become a shop called PMT, Professional Music Technology. Unfortunate name. Anyway, back in the late 90s and the early noughties, I would frequent this shop, and there would be this guy in the shop, and every time I'd walk in, he would see me, and he'd say, right, he'd go like this, because he knew that I would be a sucker for buying stuff. And he was like kind of my dealer, and we struck up a good friendship, but then I moved away, and Academy of Sound went under, and it became PMT, and we didn't keep touch. He was only there at this show working with the Yamaha guys. He's still at PMT, and he's the Yamaha guy at PMT. So I caught up with a really old friend I haven't seen for over 20 years, which was really cool.
Cool.
And we've got back in touch, and he still does lots of music stuff, and we share a love of Emaxes, it turns out. How weird. Robin Vincent deserves a huge, because between himself, Electronic Sound magazine, and the venue, which was Norwich Arts Centre, they put on an amazing event, a really amazing event that was just full of, it was positive, it was friendly. So there was lots of friendly faces there. So Jim Glue was there, and Keith in Watford was there, and Andy Brooks was there, and Kissing the Machine was there, and Get Jervis and Robin Vincent and Gaz Williams. Gaz, just brilliant. He loved the DX1, by the way. There's a lovely picture of him just really wigging out on the DX1. And Mike Gorman was there, the legend that is Mike Gorman. A whole bunch of other people, say Steve from Yamaha, Luke from Korg. It was just a really, really good event, and had an amazing time.
And does that mean that the PSN event we're putting on in Kent's shed, is that still happening? We're going to barbecue
in the garage. It was in the garage.
In the garage? No, we're going to do it in the shed.
That's the only way we're going to clear the garage, is to have an event.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to barbecue some Prophet 5s. And
we'll barbecue on a Rev 2.
Okay, yeah. That works. So we'll
whatever
we'll
else
let
catches
you know,
fire when we plug it in.
We'll let you know closer to next weekend when it's happening. That's
the end sheets go pretty well, but the front panels hang around a while.
My end cheeks. My end what?
Has a lovely tang of capacitor. Yeah. So yeah, it's it was just a great event, and I thoroughly recommend going next year, because Robin is definitely going to do it next year. And it expanded. I was only there for the Saturday, but on the Friday they had a screening of the Subotnick documentary, which was hosted by Adam Buxton, who is a comedian stroke musician, very funny, very intelligent man. He interviewed Steve Davis, the former snooker player, now modular musician and DJ, and Steve was there on the Saturday as well, and he was warming up for Blancmange, who were the headline act at the evening event. They've got a new compilation album coming out in April, I believe, or is it May? I think it's May. Anyway, and then on Sunday, there was a whole bunch of modular like workshops, as in building modular workshops. So yeah, it was a really, really good event, and it was our first one that we've actually had a stand at. We were supposed to be there last year, and unfortunately we had the Section 21 that meant I couldn't go. So I actually got to use my little stand-up stand as well, the big display with the QR code and the synths all over it that we paid lots of money for and couldn't use. So now we've got it. And
you could have taken hands with you.
I should have done that.
Yeah.
Should have done that.
We should have done that.
Could have liked that.
Next year. And we will hope to be at more events as ProSynth Network, as and when they come up. We've got something on the boil that we can talk about maybe when it's confirmed. But
burning.
there might be there might be something cooking in the background that that we can tell people about that might happen this year, if not next. But we will be at Bristronica as well, courtesy of Peter James Stephen, who is in the chat, and Peter has organised us to have a space at Machina Bristronica in Bristol. So we'll be there, and that's the second weekend in October, I believe.
I might bring this beastie.
Yeah, go for it. We've got some space. We've got lots of space, apparently, so we've got to look to fill it up.
And some emu-y stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah. We shall have some fun there. And in between, we'll be at various things like Synthfest, of course, and Super Booth, which I can't wait for. But yeah, we shall see.
Let it go, Matt. Let it go.
What's he going on about? Oh, Kent's Burgers. Burgers, yeah.
Boyers.
Right. Okay, so that's events. So yeah, Synth East. Big round of applause to Robin for sorting that out. He's done an amazing job. He should be getting lots of plaudits and credits for that. Right. And apparently Robin has started posting highlights videos on his channel. He did have something in his Molten Music monthly because he uses one of these kind of 360 cams. But there's plenty of pictures and videos sort of appearing online. So yeah, go and have a look at that. Right. That's the show bit. Okay, so there's one more piece of news, and we have managed to stretch this unbelievably to almost 2 hours. This isn't news so much, and there's not a lot to tell, but we heard about this at NAMM this year, but we didn't see them. They were just spoken of. But now Kurzweil have got an official page up. It was announced yesterday. These are the K2061 and 2088 vast synthesizers. And this is all we've got. This horrible picture, which really isn't much of a picture. I guess they're just hedging their bets there and just, so subject to alteration, I suppose. And for pricing and availability, it says contact your Kurzweil distributor. Well, I'm afraid my Kurzweil distributor is probably tucked up in bed right now. Not that I know who my Kurzweil distributor is.
With who?
I don't know.
Oh.
My wife's next door, I think. Anyway, so this, I guess, builds off of the 2700 that came out a couple of years ago, which is their new workstation. But this is not a workstation.
The 2700.
What did I say?
26.
Did I? I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant 27.
Well, it's easy to get them confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what they've done is they've taken the synthesizer part of that and made it into a standalone synth, which uses their vast technology, VAST. It's got sample playback, VA, it's got FM, it's got KB3 engines in there, it's got a K2000 synth library that's been resculpted, compatible with all K2 era libraries, 32 layers per program, 256 voice polyphony, color screen, 16 zone MIDI controller, 30 physical controllers per zone, arpeggiators, blah, 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 blah. These are big things. The 88 key version is fully weighted with hammer action and aftertouch. It doesn't say whether the 61 note has aftertouch. I would assume it would have, wouldn't it?
I would have thought so. I mean, it's clear that what they've done is taken the 2700 and taken 639 off for the K2061, and they've taken 612 off for the K2088. I mean,
how long have you been doing the maths to do that joke?
I didn't. I just know it because I'm a maths genius. Genius.
But look, Kurzweil have a very good reputation. No icing. I don't believe there is a rack mount, although there normally isn't there? They're well known for doing their racks, aren't they?
I don't know if there was the last one.
I don't think there was. I might be entirely wrong.
I don't remember 27 rack.
Here's the thing. We did cover this when there was when we saw a sneak peek for the NAMM show, man. When we saw the sneak peek for that, and Kurzweil are just funny buggers. They make the most amazing sounding instruments, and whenever I play one, I just think, I love this. The sound is amazing. But the control surface is looking really, really dated, and I don't believe the screen is touch screen. I don't believe you have access to everything in quite the same way as you do on the 27. And it's just feeling like the user interface is a little is a little old, and with the vast engine, it's it's a fantastically to have that more fully exposed on the control. You know, I'd just like to have a dedicated that, same as I would with this. I'd like to see an ANX version of an ANX engine, something with the entire control surface exposed rather than lots of performances. Same with the Kurzweil. I think it would do really well, but they just keep bringing out essentially the same keyboard with different versions, which is a shame because they deserve so much more love than they get, but not with that user interface.
Yeah, I was doing a bit of reading up about the kind of the whole history of Kurzweil over the years, and how, you know, because somebody posted a picture of the Kurzweil, is it the VA1, which was a virtual
VA1.
analog?
Yeah.
That only ever got to prototype stage and then got binned off, and then built into the PC something.
PC4 or PC7, whatever it was.
Like it got built into that. But there are only about 10 of these things, and somebody posted a video. They actually own one of the prototypes. And it sounds amazing.
Isn't that in this now, or is that in the 20?
It's got a VA engine in there, so it must be a kind of a development of that.
Steve the Bastard says
he's down to his last 4K 2000s. Fanboy. People have to go at me about me and my Yamahas. Jeez.
What's he doing, eating them?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's filling them with Smarties and sticking them up his... anyway.
But look, there's not a lot we can say about this because we don't really know what it looks like, or we have no idea what it sounds like.
We've got a couple of shitty photographs.
Really rubbish photographs. We don't know what the price is going to be because they're always kind of top-end Kurzweil, aren't they? But with probably good reason.
I'll take a guess at the price.
Go on then.
£9.
£9.
Good guess.
With 1,990 added on. I reckon we're looking at maybe 2.5.
3.2.
I think it's going to be £639 less.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
We'll talk more about this when
there is one.
Fish. I've got tickets. I've got tickets to go and see Fish next year. Ex of Marillion on his farewell tour. By the way, just thought I'd get that in.
Have you seen him?
Excited.
Have you seen him lately?
Who, Fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had his front teeth knocked out.
You wouldn't recognise him if you passed him in the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a bit hairy.
Well, stop carping on.
He had his front teeth knocked out just recently.
You wouldn't recognise him, mate.
But look, he's a legend in my book. Can't wait to see it. Anyway, we've
what rarely spoken about and doesn't exist.
What? Sorry.
That's what a legend is, isn't it? Rarely spoken about and doesn't exist.
That's true.
So maybe they need to change that.
Oh, right. My mind went off on a whole series of things that are alleged and don't exist, and I thought,
I saw the
can't
smoke
mention
from
any
here.
of them on the show.
My block nose is causing some oxygen starvation here. I'm not entirely sure what planet I'm on at the moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kurzweil. We'll talk about that nearer the time when that exists and not just some blurry photos.
Indeed.
But I'm sure it'll be great. And that rounds things up nicely. We've got about 9 minutes to fill and waffle. I think we've literally covered everything. Don't forget, of course, that shortly after we end this show, there's a brand new stream coming. Not from us, but from Eddie and Andy. That's Eddie as in Froze, F-R-O-S-E. You might recognise him from various shows like Ramsey's Show and sometimes on the pub as well. And he is into his guitars and his synthesizers, and he thought, do you know what, why not, let's do a podcast or a live stream on that very subject. The link is in the chat. Andy has just posted it there. So as he said, it's a new podcast with Eddie. Starts at 9:30 p.m. UK time on his YouTube channel. Go and check it out. Give him a subscribe and a thumbs up and a like and a follow and whatever it is.
That's kind of interesting, though, isn't it? Because he's taken two things he really likes, which is guitars and synths, and is doing a podcast. So what two things, Kent, do you like that you'd like to do a podcast about?
Oh, I couldn't repeat it here.
I was going to say Stevie Nicks and Debbie Harry. I'd love to do a podcast about those two.
That's not a podcast. I think you'll
No,
find
that's
that's
true.
something else that we can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a pub discussion.
Unfulfilled fantasy.
Yeah, yeah.
She's coming to the UK this year as well, Stevie Nicks.
What is she? What is she, Nick? What is she, Nick?
I don't know.
I thought she was
She,
dead.
she stole my heart.
Oh, she's a thief as well.
Yeah. Well, Stevie Nicks.
Stevie-
There. I was
Justin would.
expecting. I was
Justin thinks
expecting
I
a
would
third.
do. Justin thinks I would do CS80s and hydrocinths. He's not far off, you know.
No. I was trying to think the other day of how I could marry my love of synthesizers with Gran Turismo and come up with some sort of concept there, but it just didn't work. I kept crashing.
Heresy.
I could do a podcast on mashed potato and synthesizers. That would work. I love mashed potato.
On a synthesizer.
Well, yeah. Why not? You know, I haven't tried yet. We'd have to see. I
How
think
do you
it
like
would,
your mashed potatoes?
well, in a gob, preferably.
How do you like them presented on a plate? You know,
Oh.
do you like them, firm?
Liz,
Do you like the
Liz
chunks
makes
in?
Liz makes it without too much butter, without too much milk, but with lots of garlic. She puts whole garlic cloves in when she mashes, and then
Right,
she
okay,
mashes
so
it
you-
up,
you like
and it
garlic.
makes it really creamy. Bit of pepper, bit of salt, and then salad, tomato and onion salad. That's it. That's a comfort food for me.
So she
Delicious.
really knows how to spoil a meal.
Oh, it's delicious. It's delicious.
You got to
When
put
she first
bacon
showed it
bits
to me,
in
I
there.
said, "You have got to be joking."
You got bacon bits. You need bacon bits.
Well, you can have those as well, but just tomato and onion salad, balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and mashed potato.
Yeah. Thank
Great.
you, Mike. Fill your bukes, indeed. Fill your bukes, indeed.
What?
I forgot to ask, Mike, are you going to be at Super Booth this year? Because you were last year. Steve, who is also a member, you can tell he's a member because he has a big thing after his name.
I beg your pardon?
Thank you for your £5. So engrossed in such informative, entertaining and witty content, I nearly forgot. But glad you didn't.
Sorry, were you watching the other show?
Were you watching the E-Mom?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dear.
Justin says his show would be Mac and Cheese and Music Theory. I'd watch that.
I'd go for that. Justin,
watch that.
I'd go for that.
Big bowl of mac and cheese whilst learning music theory stuff, of which I know. I was trying to think of some fancy words but couldn't.
Does he add the seasoning during the cooking process or after?
yes.
This is the thing. And is it fresh ground pepper? Yeah. Like that.
And
Justin's got a new member.
the email stream.
Oh, he is a new.
Yeah, Justin is a new member. Thank you, Justin, for subscribing there. Very, very grateful for that. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. By the way, Justin
Email
Justin puts out some music every now and again on his SoundCloud. Is it SoundCloud? One of the things he posts it. It's very good. He's rather good at what he does. So yeah. Anyway, I think we've waffled our way just a little bit more.
Shows.
What's happening? So, well, after this
Range
show
tomorrow.
Well, no, hang on.
Oh,
after this show,
it's got to be in
after this
order,
show.
has it?
It's got to be in order. So you can,
Yeah.
Otherwise, they complain.
Don't you know
see.
anything?
Yeah. So after this show, you've got Eddie and Andy
very
doing
maverick.
their first live stream, which combines Eddie's love of guitars and synthesizers and everything in between, especially guitars. Tomorrow you've got Ramsey at 1
Custard
o'clock.
and stockings. No, sorry, I'm still thinking.
Okay.
Okay, carry on.
Ramsey's on at 1 o'clock GMT. And then, don't forget, there's Henrik's Senior Synth stream with Howard Scarr and some other guy that looks like a chubby Michael McDonald. Or Gary Glitter.
Gary Glitter.
But that's tomorrow.
Why did they ask for an autograph? Why?
I'm sorry, is this your daughter? Oh,
That's just, yeah, I mean, really.
how did they get in there?
Anyway. So, yeah, they'll be on tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time. Say Howard, Andy's going to be there. And apparently, I'm assuming that they're not referring to Andy. They're referring to another very special guest. So you're not that special.
I'm not special at all.
But
Not
another
even
very
slightly.
special guest is Pending. I don't know who Pending is, but apparently they're going to be on the show. So
He's Welsh.
Check that out.
Pending, he's 11.
Check that out tomorrow at 8. And then Sunday, I'm hoping that Jamie will be doing his live stream. He did one last week, which was all about the Polybrute. Polybrute.
Yeah.
And if you own a Polybrute and you haven't bought Jamie's 3 volumes of Polybrute Secrets, volumes 1, 2, and 3, of which you can buy at a discounted price, all 3 together, do so now, because they're bloomin' brilliant. They really are very, very good. Very, very good. And I'm not just saying that because he's a friend. They're very, very
See,
good.
That's a good one. That's a
Vulcan
good
bombers.
podcast.
And there's not a lot of difference, is there? They're big, mostly grey, and can cause a nuclear disaster.
My mum used to work with the Vulcan bombers when she was in the RAF.
Yeah, cool.
Or the WAF, I should say.
The WAF, yes.
She was a WAF.
I loved, honestly, every air show I used to go, the Vulcan was the thing. When it did that low fly past, you could just feel the insides of your
Beautiful
chest.
aircraft.
Just gorgeous.
Beautiful,
I remember seeing it
beautiful
on its
aircraft.
last flight. It did the tour around the UK, and we got to see it go over Norwich Airport.
Yeah.
And it was quite emotional.
I've never seen an
XH
Emulator 2 flyby, though. That's the only thing.
It can be
you know.
arranged.
We
Okay.
didn't get so lucky because it's Heathrow airspace. Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
Ah,
XH558. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we forgot to mention the pub tomorrow.
And of course, I didn't know if there was
Yeah,
one. I want to
and-
assume.
Yeah, because it's the 2nd of February, I will be doing a special on the CS80 tomorrow, where I will be.
Before JX3D?
After.
Okay.
And I'll be doing a special where I'll be playing the key of C. That C
That's-
there.
That's unusual. You never. Oh,
There we go.
Go away with your fake sounds. No.
Anyway, yes. So then, Ramsey, Henrik, Kent tomorrow, Jamie Sunday. If you've watched us and not watched the EMOM Sonic State are running live right now, go over there now, or go and catch up, or do whatever. Go and give Eddie and Andy some support later on today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just have a brilliant weekend. I'm just going to curl up on my sofa and play video games until I feel better. That's what I'm going to do. The world can stop. Actually, it can't, because I've got a whole bunch of stuff to write for Gear News.
Oh dear. Oh, to have a job where you have to work within the music business. Poor you.
Yeah, at weekends. I know. I brought it all upon myself. We've already said thank you for Justin being a member. Thank you to Bostic247 for your £5. I feel guilty, but I'll watch it tomorrow. Honest. Okay, no worries. We'll believe you. Thank you very much indeed.
We will be checking.
Yeah, we will. We have the technology.
We're checking, right?
we do.
We'll be checking, chicken. Thank you ever so much, guys, for your company, as always, on a Friday night.
What, me?
No, we're checking. I'm checking, not you.
Oh,
If I was checking you, I'd be doing that, wouldn't I?
I thought he was talking to you.
There we go. Yeah, no, we're checking. With the throat.
Oh, small child. Oh, sorry.
Oh, was that a fart or?
That was a Gary Glitter impression.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
How did
And
that
on
get
that
in
note,
there?
we are going to...
No idea.
Join us next week for
did
more
that-
riveting news and awful jokes. Enjoy your concert, Justin. I'm sure you'll knock it out of the park. And we will see you all this time, same place, next week. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Feel good. Play lots of music and do things that you enjoy.
And talking of knocking one out.
Yes, indeed. Have fun, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.